Hello everybody, it's Peggy. I'm back again with another video. I don't know if I'm going to do much today besides just babble because I have a project. I have a project that I'm not looking forward to. So let's just get back to the reasons why I'm making a video. I never said there was a reason. Let's get to the reason why I'm making a video. Okay, so you're sitting down, you're watching a video and somebody goes, oh look, we're going to do something with a something. And we're going to make a thing. And the one thing that they never really talk about is how much time it takes to get everything ready that you need to do your little project. So I'm going to show you what happens. You have two ways to get ready for a little project. You have the ever lovely scrap bin. This is just a small bit of my scrap. So when you are deciding on making a project, and I'm a big fan of saying run to your scrap bin first. One of the things that can end up happening is that you are over here, you are picking through, you're trying to match things up. Oh, what goes with what goes here, what goes there. Like, okay, these two, I intentionally kept them together because I knew they matched. But I have no idea what that's going to match with. So what I'm talking about today is the wonderful, wonderful journey of matching your fabrics, especially if you have unsorted fabric, especially if you have pink in one drawer, greens in another, but you're doing a project that uses pink and green, so now you have to go through separate piles to do separate things. And then there's the magical, magical thing that happens is you take your piece of scrap, you fold it up. I don't know why this one's in the scrap bin, actually. It shouldn't be in the scrap bin. You take this one and you fold it up and you put it in your little pink. And then you take this one and fold it up and you put it in your little pink. And now you've got two little pieces of pink fabric. And then when you've got 50 or 60 or 70 or 100 little pieces of pink fabric and things are shifting and moving around, and because it does. I'll have stuff stacked up. And then things shift and move, and then suddenly you're not seeing all your fabric. So scrap is awesome, and it can also be a big nightmare. So what I'm doing, I am getting ready for a project. There's a punchline here. I'm just bitching because I don't want to get started. There's a punchline here is when you're working with scrap, when you are getting ready to do a project, you have two choices. Let me back up because I started to say something else and I'm not there yet. When you are working on a project, you have two choices. You can save your scrap from previous projects and make sure that you're using that up, which is great if you don't have massive piles of scrap. I'm assuming that I'm assuming that a lot of you do, a lot of you don't. I don't know what I'm assuming, honestly. I just realized it's like, that's silly to assume anything. But like I've got these pieces, like these are gorgeous. I'm going to be using them for a project, but okay, prep. The conversation today is prep. The conversation today is you want to make a project and you want to use particular fabrics or particular things. You want to work with fabrics that you've already got. Now, how do you avoid spending the entire bloody day just sorting out what you've got? If you have a large collection, which I do, you can sort it by color, sort it by style. You can cull through, and I generate a ton of scrap. Like this stuff here has already been separated, and if I don't find a use for it soon, I'm probably going to be throwing this away because I've got the exact same fabrics already over here in this bin in larger pieces, and I don't have a lot of time. I mean, I'm trying to sew. I'm trying to live my life. Most of my sewing goes to the shop, so this is something to be aware of. Now, when you're doing a regular project, come with me, we're gonna spin in a circle. Okay, so now I've got this over here. This is my regular fabric. And I just keep it in the larger pieces. I sort it by color. So if I'm working on okay, generally speaking, if you're into sewing, because I'm into sewing, you know, I've got stuff up there, stuff here, it's all sorted. So one thing that you never see, and even I haven't been showing you, is the process that happens when you are trying to start a project. Starting a project can be very time consuming. Look at the top of my head. Just look at the top of my head and follow me. Starting a project can have challenges. Just getting started, prepping for a project can have challenges of its own. If you are like, I want to make a pencil case, and since I have choices, I have to decide what I want it to look like. So always keep in mind, this is my public service announcement for the day, my PSA. Always keep in mind when you are planning to start a project, always keep in mind that whether you are if you are starting with scrap, you will need more time to sort out which scrap, which pieces look the best to you, look the nicest together, what you would and maybe would not like to use. Give yourself extra time. Don't just sit down thinking, oh, I've got an hour, I'm going to make, like I said, pencil case. Let's say pencil case. I've got an hour, I'm going to make a pencil case. Pencil cases don't take that long to make. You can actually literally end up sitting here, spending that entire hour just sorting out what fabric you want to use. And that is whether you've got this here or that there. And that is just my small pieces. I've got like, let me back up. I've got that there. That is just these are called blenders. These are variegated fabrics. So the purple, it's purple, but it's got shades of complementary purple scattered around, blues. That's my solids. Then, come with me. Let's go for a little walk. Ignore the mess. Ignore the mess. This table is not scrap. Don't get seasick. This table is not scrap. Actually, that's scrap. That's another bucket of scrap. This is stuff that I'm working on. I had to move it quickly, so draping it, jumbling it. So now I've got a messy bedroom. Oh my God, don't look. That's the rest of my fabric. So just so you know, is that the rest of it? Where's the rest of it? There's more. There's stuff up there. I don't know how much of this. You're probably just going to see it in... So, my house is covered in fabric. Oh, there's some more over there on the rack. My house is covered in fabric. Getting ready for a project for me can literally take hours. If I'm already working on other stuff, like I'm working on stuff for the shop all the time, if I'm working on stuff for the shop, then I have to pick it up, clean it up, get it out of my way. I'm over here. Let's look at me. Let's look at me. Eyes on me. If I'm working on something for the shop, then anything that I've already got out has to get picked up and put away. So anyway, what is the point? What is the point of this video? The point of this video is to point out that one thing that you never, ever, ever see in a sewing video, like you'll see somebody, it's so cute. You'll see somebody on a video and they'll take like 3 or 4, oh, I'm going to take my scrap. Look, I'm going to take my scrap and make something. But what they don't tell you is that they had to dig through all this shit just to find a piece of scrap that they could use. This is a lot of scrap. This is a lot of fabric. So if you're somebody who already has a ton of fabric, then you already know this. It's like, okay, I want to do a thing. I need to sit down and prepare my fabric now. I need to sit down and make sure that I've got enough fabric in the right pieces. If you're somebody who doesn't have a lot of fabric, then you're going to have smaller amounts of smaller pieces. You're going to have the same problem because you're going to go, oh, I want to make a red pencil case, but I don't really have a lot of red right now, so maybe you need to plan a trip to the store. Maybe you don't have enough of anything that you can make something with. So my PDA for the day is to keep in mind that when you're looking at a pattern or a design or an idea that you want to do, the very first step, your very first step before deciding to do it for yourself is to make sure that you have the time to go through, check out your materials, make sure that you've either got the material that you want in your scrap, got the material that you want in your stash. This is the stash, this is the scrap, right? Everybody has their own way of looking at it. Make sure that you've got enough of it. Make sure that whatever you've got, most projects are going to require you to have at least 2 fabrics, a front, a back, an inside, an outside, a liner. Make sure that your fabric is the right material. Like this is all quilting cotton. If I have, oh, I'm going to make a leatherette, a faux suede, whatever. Well, I don't have any. So I just wanted to point that out. It gets very frustrating. You get excited. You're going to go sit down. You're going to do a thing. And I think I have 2 pairs of scissors all of a sudden. they're multiplying. They multiplied. I think it can get very frustrating when you see people on videos, even me, because like I said, I've done it. I get my materials ready and then I do my video for you guys. And I'm just starting out and I'm already doing it that way where I'm not showing you what my prep looks like. I mean, I'll have some fabric out. Oh, I've got to iron this. That's fine. But I already took the time to grab the fabric. So when you are sewing, when you see a project that you like, always, always, always calculate, not calculate, but always, always, always expect that there's going to be, you can get lucky and go, oh, I've got that fabric. I've already got the fabric I want for that. That's the perfect project. And that's great. You just hit the lottery when that happens. But for the most part, you can't even get started until you have sorted something out. Selecting your fabric, going to the store, buying your fabric, verifying that you have the correct fabric, verifying that you have enough of the fabric. So what do you got to do? You gotta select your fabric, and depending on where you're getting your fabric from, it might be digging in here for an hour, looking at that for 10 minutes, going back over. Well, okay, that's for me, right? So for you, you could be like, oh, well, my scraps aren't big enough. I don't have enough of a stash. I got to make a trip to the store. Oh, I've got lots of scrap, but now I've got to spend the time going. Anyway, I'm going to over-explain that to death. But I've been doing that, though. It's been fun. I love over-explaining shit. It's just like the way I survive. I don't know. Anyway, so your public service announcement for the day is that every time you see a video of anybody sewing, even me, the very first thing you want to do before you go, the first thing that you want to do is sort out what materials you need for the project, how much of the materials you need of that project, whether or not you have the materials for the project. I'm making it sound really, really, really daunting. It's not. It is not a problem at all. It is not even a little bit of a problem. Where it becomes very, very daunting is it's super frustrating to go, oh, well, that video only took an hour and she got this thing done. And then you're sitting there 4 hours later going, why am I still here? And I'm just pointing out, do not forget that the first step can often take as long as every other step. So expect, it's kind of, okay, I kind of go on this philosophy of if you expect the thing, if I expect it to take an hour just to sort my fabric and get the fabric, you know, if I want to do a pencil case, if I expect that it's going to take me some time to come over here, dig all this stuff up, clean up whatever's already here, get this stuff out, sort out what I want, if I expect that I'm going to be spending time doing that, then I'm not going to be disappointed if my finished product takes twice as long as the one I saw elsewhere or the instructionals, because they'll say, oh, make a pencil case in 10 minutes. It's like, you could absolutely make a pencil case in 10 minutes. There's no problem there. But it can take an hour to dig up your material. Okay, it depends on what you're making. I mean, I'm making a pencil case, so that's why I keep saying it. But, and I'm probably making half a dozen or so, which is another part of the problem. Okay, you've got 5 kids. I'm going to make each of my kid their own pencil case. And it's like, okay, well, unless they like to share, really, really share. Anyway. But yeah, I'm making a pencil case. This piece isn't big enough, and it's the wrong direction. This is a single directional thing. This piece might be big enough, but I'm saving it for something else. This piece, oh, that's big enough. Okay. Anyway. Oh, that's also big enough. Okay. So I have spent, see, it's all about preparation. I've just spent 14 minutes talking about a 3-minute topic. So I think you know where I'm going here. Anyway, keep that in mind. Pre-wash your fabrics if you're going to be making something that you plan on, that requires washing after the fact. Iron your fabrics, starch if you're going to do that. I don't starch anything, so I don't know if starch is a separate step or not. I have no idea how that works. Sorting out your fabric, deciding what you're going to use, deciding what will and won't work for your project, going to the store, buying your fabrics. And again, it's not a big deal, but it can be really, when I first started getting really back into sewing and stuff, I would look something up and I'd be like, oh, okay, I can get that done in the afternoon. And 2 days later, I'm still working on it. This is the punchline of what happened to me. So yeah, that's what happened to me. So I'm just relating the experience in reverse order, because I should have started with, this happened to me. This happened to me all the freaking time. So yeah, so what's going on with that is a very, very simple. It could take you time, energy. You've got everything sorted out over here. You don't have a matching thread. You've got everything sorted out over there. Oh, your last needle just broke. You have needles, but they're the wrong needles. There's actually different types of needles for different types of sewing. Everything's perfect. And your machine needs to be cleaned, which I should do a video showing you guys how to do that. You can clean your own machine for quite a while before you have to worry about taking it in for service. So yeah, it's like any project. Plan for the plan. I don't know how to describe it, but public service announcement is that once you're actually set up, sitting at your machine and ready to go, that is the last step in what is sometimes, depending on how you're doing things, that is the last step in a preparation process that, depending on how you're doing it, can literally take hours. Like I said, if you're going to wash, dry, iron your fabrics before you use them, that right there, you're running a full cycle of laundry. So keep that in mind when you are sewing. Yep, so thanks for listening to me, and I will catch you soon. And don't forget to like, subscribe, do the things, hit the bell, do whatever. And yeah, I like to show you guys how to make things, and I like to give away things that I make. So yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, click the bell, do all the things so that next time I'm actually sewing and actually doing a giveaway, you won't miss anything. And in the meantime, take care.